Liberal cabinet members are attending a retreat in Montreal. Let's bring in CTV's Colton Prale with the latest on some of the meetings. So, Colton, this morning, the immigration minister made this announcement about foreign students. What is the government proposing with this?
Well, Courtney, it's a pretty significant change in response to questions that a lot of critics have been asking. We're going to see a cap for the next 2 years on the number of new international student permits that are issued by the federal government, and it's starting already. So what that means is that the 2024 numbers will be down to about 364,000 or so. That's a 35% drop compared to last year. We don't know what the number is going to look like in 2025 or in 2026. The federal government says they're going to reassess that at the end of the year, but this is a really significant change. It's going to have an impact, of course, on housing, but especially on higher education. And the immigration minister says this is all about using blunt tools to target a problem where the provinces, he says, haven't been acting enough to deal with it. And specifically, this is all about that private-public partnership between public colleges and private colleges. And it's having an impact, especially in the GTA. The way this usually works is you have a public school, usually outside of the GTA, think a northern school in Sudbury, who will admit these students and then send them off to a private school that they're partnered with in the GTA. Now, the problem that we've seen in provinces all across the country is that it's hard to guarantee the quality of education that these students get at these private colleges. It also puts an incredible strain on the local housing market. We've seen some experts say it's a 2 to 3% increase in these cities' population just from temporary international students. As a result, you get rent prices driving up, you have more competition, you have builders and corporations buying up single-family homes to rent them out to these students. There are a number of knock-on effects, and Miller says this is about bringing integrity back to that system. It's about guaranteeing the education, and yes, it's also about helping at least reduce some of the pressure on these rents. Now, the way this works across the country is going to look different depending on where you are. In provinces like Alberta, Saskatchewan, or the territories, they are actually getting an allotment based on population that could allow them to increase the number of temporary students they bring in. But if you're in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, BC, it's going to be significantly lower. If you're in Ontario, it could be a 50% decline in new international student applications. It's not going to affect the postgraduate programs. It won't affect elementary or secondary applications. They're really just targeting these private-public partnerships and trying to bring that number down, trying to lower the influx that's been driving such a large part of our population, while also maintaining some new applications in the areas where they want to target. Law, medicine, for example. These are areas where they are still leaving those applications open because they want those people to come in. Another thing that the minister brought up was this is going to impact a lot of people who are already in Canada. Those who are already studying won't have to be impacted by this. They can still apply for that postgraduate program if they'd like to. This is entirely new applications.
Pretty big announcement coming out today, and I'm sure lots of reaction to it. Colton, thank you. We'll continue to check in with you today.